Rocco versus Joe. Sounds like a Rocky movie or a wrestling headliner, but it's one of the games that headlines playoff football this Friday night, the one we just talked about in round two, Anthony Wayne and Olmsted Falls. You know the pigskin professor is ready to touch him up.
The Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, 9-2, heading into White House to take on the Anthony Wayne Generals, 10-1. Let's get right to it. Good news, bad news for Anthony Wayne. You always start with the bad news. And the bad news was it looked like you underestimated North Ridgeville last Friday. You struggled coming out of the gates. A game where you needed to perform physically, top priority. It didn't get there in that first half. The good news, survive and advance, baby. That's what it's all about. And it was a very tough, rugged path to get there, heightened by a really strong second half. Win in advance, learn, and get ready. And now the reality news. You ain't going to underestimate the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. You'll watch them on film and see that these cats are for real. They are fully invested in what you want to do, run the rock, and they hang their hats on a tough, rugged defense that looks to stop the run. This could be a good matchup. The first half of the Generals' win was puzzling last week. Falling behind 10-0 to a Ranger team playing a lot of sophomores and freshmen. They had 7 or 8 of them on the defensive side of the ball at various times in the game. First half was simply a case of being outplayed at the line of scrimmage. The second half, much more solid. A-Dub returned to its roots, gave the ball to Joe Caswell, and Tommy Lane and Jack Benfield, that offensive front, took over the line of scrimmage. You simplify in times of adversity. You lean on your leaders, and you make plays. Caswell's 200 yards plus finish looks like all was normal for the Generals on the stat sheet. But watching the game showed how tough and gritty the young Rangers were. Grant Kinney, a huge part of that second half comeback, with big runs behind Caswell and the offensive line. I love that quarterback power. England Allen broke up a couple deep balls, and the A-Dub defensive front seven dominated the line of scrimmage. Having Kinney back is a big deal, especially with this Olmsted Falls game. Olmsted Falls looks the part of a rugged, athletic Northeastern Ohio football team. Anthony Wayne must come out of the locker room prepared for a physical, fast contest. The Bulldogs have many weapons in their flex bone motion offense, starting with the incredible Rocco Condi. 4 first-half touchdowns. Jack Pinchek and Derek Necker complete the backfield with Condi, and quarterback James Rosel handles the ball beautifully and is a great decision maker in their option game. The defensive line must set the tone on every snap this week. It's the biggest challenge of the year. Cadence Carswell, Blake Reed, Tommy Link, Jack Benfeld, and that group have to take over the line of scrimmage, identify unbalance, especially in the red zone, and make plays. Hesitate for a moment and you're beaten. But you get too aggressive and you're sealed and cut off. The perfect technique and key reads are needed on every play, with full trust and faith in your teammates to do their job as you do yours. Rocco and Joe, Condi versus Caswell. This is football the way I love to watch it. Offensive linemen taking on defensive fronts and attacking the line of scrimmage in physical battles. These two, Caswell and Condi, it's the best we've seen on the same field since, about last year, when Avon Central had Chris Edmonds versus Jacorian Caffey. There is something about the water in Region 6 that creates big-time running backs. Have fun. Learn from week 1, Generals, and get after it from the opening snap. Good luck.